I'm joined by, once again, my co-host, Grant.
Yo.
Grant and Deva, how you doing today?
What's up? I'm doing good.
That's amazing to hear. I just want to start us off with something calm. Just, tell us about what initially sparked your musical interest. Like, what got you into music?
I've been doing music since I was a kid. I started playing piano when I was 5. I started off doing classical piano, and then that was kind of boring to me. So I, of course, got on GarageBand, started messing around on there when I was in middle school, making covers of different songs, and then after that, I just started writing my own stuff. And in high school, I put out my first song, which was from Raspberry. I've just kind of been doing the same thing ever since, producing my music and writing my own lyrics and having fun with it.
It's tough. You're originally from, Oakland's opposite side of the country, opposite coast. When did you move out to New York, and what has that transition been like for you personally and as an artist?
It's been crazy because the pace in California is very different as anybody that's been in California would probably know. But I moved here originally to do my master's degree. And then I've just kind of been doing music and stuff like that on the side. But yeah, I don't know, I enjoy being in New York. I like the way that it moves and sometimes, but, as somebody that's been accustomed to being in California, I still miss it a lot of the time. And I try to reflect that a lot in my music and try to take influence from where I grew up, which is Oakland, in the Bay Area, has its own sound, and kind of combining that with my own experiences.
That leads perfectly into this question. Like you said, there's sounds from Oakland that have played into your music. Can you describe those sounds? Maybe some specific artists from Oakland that have been bigger inspirations for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of artists out of Oakland that I take inspiration from. Kaylani went to my high school, so I've definitely taken inspiration from that. Sure. But it definitely would have to be, in terms of musical elements, the drums and the 808s, the bass lines. I try to keep my bass lines really strong, and just take, the rhythm that I love. I love listening to a lot of Bay Area rap music, so I grew up listening to, S.O.B. Nowadays, Larry Jude is pretty big, so... some of those amazing artists that have definitely inspired me. Also Tupac, was came up in the Bay as well. So yeah, those are some of my favorite artists. So, yeah.
It's amazing, and similarly, it gets into what I want to ask you next. I heard, when I first heard your music, I heard Sade a lot. I feel like that was something that was resonating with me, and I want to know. Is she an influence? Are there some other artists that you would say have influenced your current sound?
Yeah, 100%. Sade is a big inspiration for me. Guapole as well, and Erykah Badu is a big one as well. Sure. I love a lot of her different instrumental elements that she adds to it, and her vocals are just so beautiful.
Yeah.
So I try to play with my vocals a little bit, put on different tones, put on different characters, that kind of thing.
It's kind of switching topics, but you went to school at Berkeley.
Yeah.
And we saw you got a degree in biochemistry along with a bunch of other, science-related fields. It's a huge dichotomy compared to, making music. So I guess, what led to the decision to make music and to pursue that versus, what you studied in the career field that you've chosen in that sense?
Yeah, I've always loved science. I studied biochem, I studied environmental sciences, which I'm super passionate about because it's obviously a very pressing issue nowadays. But I don't know. I don't think that music was ever a decision for me. I think it was just something that I had to do. It's just something that's part of me. And I continue to go on through my career just as anybody else would. But the music was just something that I had to, do in my day-to-day, and whenever I find time to do it, it's just an impulse. So I wouldn't even say music.
Yeah, and something you've been talking about is how to do music and creating this thing that you've been doing for a long time. And I know you've been putting music out on Apple Music and other platforms for about 5 years now. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask you, do you think that your sound has gotten more refined, and have you found your niche yet, or are you still searching for it?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, my music definitely evolved a lot since I started. I've definitely found a lot more personality in what I want to do and new inspiration. I'm always constantly inspired by different things I'm listening to. And I think that my work will forever evolve until I'm 80 years old, until I'm, on my deathbed. I don't think it's ever gonna be like, this is what my sound is. Like, it's because I'm an evolving person, so my music has to evolve with me. And as long as I'm inspired by different things, it's always gonna continue with that. So, yeah.
I love that, and I guess that it's perfect. We keep feeding into the next question, but like, what genre do you feel like your music lives in? Do you feel like it has a genre?
Yeah, I mean, you can always categorize things. I would say other people definitely describe my music as being R&B, neo soul. I'm kind of like leaning more towards like a dark R&B. But I try to blend different things into my sound. I've been, recently experimenting with different, South Indian drum patterns, polyrhythms that I've, never really worked with and that I feel like is not introduced into like a Western audience. And so, yeah, I mean, again, it's hard to categorize, but I guess those are some of the things that I take inspiration from.
And moving into, some recent music, the biggest track that you've dropped so far is Moon Dweller, and I'm interested in the inspiration behind the song. Did you think it was gonna end up being your biggest song when you wrote it? How did that feel? I mean, it's a huge song, it's a big accomplishment.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I love that song. I love that song when I made it. There's a lot of songs that I make that I don't love that I put out, because other people are like, you gotta put this out, and I'm like, I'm not ready. This is one of the ones that, I sat in my room, I wrote the song one day, and,
Wow.
Including production, including like the majority of the lyrics.
Oh.
And so I just reached like a flow state. And it was like, this is what it's gonna sound like. And including the breakdown at the end. And there's also a lot of jazz elements in it too. And again, it's like the scatting and freestyling and stuff like that with my vocals. But yeah, I didn't expect it to, become what it is, but I'm happy that that it's there, And since that song, I feel like that was a very neo soul song. It was very acoustic. And since then I've definitely evolved a lot. And part of my brain is like, are people gonna resonate with the new stuff that I'm doing, Because so many people resonated with this one track. But, what matters is that I'm happy and that I'm putting out stuff that I love.
For sure.
Yeah.
When you kind of get into it about what goes into deciding when a song is released, so I want to know, are there people that you trust to send your music to? In your bio on Instagram says I produce all my beats.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, what's the process like when you're making a song? Is this good?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? Do you have that itch, or is that something that you send to some of your friends and then you get good feedback?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have my community of good friends that I go to, where I ask is this done? Is this mix good? Are these lyrics good? Are they corny? I hate when I write a corny lyric and I can't get it out of my brain and I can't find something to replace it with. So I'm like, help me replace this with something. I go to my dad a lot. My dad has been super supportive throughout my journey as an artist. And I'll send him stuff and sometimes he'll be like, I'm like, it's all right. You know what I mean? Sometimes he'll be like, yes, this you need to put out tomorrow, Yeah, so, I know he's a very discerning type, so I do appreciate his feedback a lot, and I do have my other friends that I go to.
Moving into your most recent song, Bold, that's how we discovered your music. And so, speaking about going through the process of deciding when the song's ready, that was the first song you released this year. So what went into that decision behind deciding that this is the song you're going to pop out in 2026 for?
I think I really enjoyed the process of producing this song. And I don't know, I just liked the direction that it was going in. It was very more experimental, something that was combining a lot of my favorite influences. And so, yeah, I don't know, I just really enjoyed making it. So doing that and then putting the visuals together with my homie Sam, like, it was just like, I don't know, it just felt like it all fit together properly. So I was really excited to put this one out.
And, you talk about evolution, so I'm wondering, looking back at Fold, it's been a few months now, like, what have you learned from that process and that you're looking to bring into your next track that you put out?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I've really appreciated that people are resonating with this new sound kind of that I'm moving towards. And I think it's just definitely like made me feel more confident in that, which of course, like, you shouldn't listen to what other people are saying about your releases and like take that in like too much. But I don't know, I'm thinking about putting out a project soon, so I'm hoping that, this can be like kind of a new direction that I'm moving in and that other people can like enjoy it.
Definitely. Like, do we have estimated time on arrival for that?
So hard to say, I'm trying to finish up my degree right now. So, but hopefully sometime this summer. Yeah, I'm working on visuals right now for a new track. So, all in good time.
I mean, speaking of visuals, one thing on Fold that I noticed is you have these really intricate, super cool, like they're like nails or like finger attachments that you're wearing.
Yeah.
They're so awesome. I haven't seen that before. Like, how did you like decide to do that? What are they?
What's the idea behind it? So the idea behind it is I play piano a lot. That's where I started. That's how I started my music journey. And so after a certain point, I realized I can't wear acrylic nails. I can't wear anything that's super permanent. Same thing goes for, I also work in a lab. I work in a biology lab. And so I can't, when I'm wearing gloves, I can't wear anything that's going to fit through the gloves because it won't be sterile, right? And so for my performances, I wear these nails on my fingers, which I'll put on later. And I can take them off at any time, but I think they're just very pretty and elegant.
Like, when you put those nails on, does that help you get into like a different mode? Is it like Deva Rani performer mode now?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I think so. I do. I definitely feel very, very confident.
And on the topic of, Fold and, the visual elements that you have in your content, I've noticed that you do like 0.5 a lot of your videos. And so I wonder, like, what was the thought process behind that?
It's hard to say. I just think it looks cool.
Really?
Yeah, I think it looks cool. I always make a joke with my friends when I take my videos in 0.5 that I have like a big forehead. So I like that it looks like goofy a little bit like out of this world. Like, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I just think it looks cool.
Moving into some features on your song "Darling," is featured with, I'm not sure how to say it wrong, Tryn. Trin. It's the only feature on your entire discography, and so my question is like, what goes into choosing who you collaborate with? What does that collaborative process look like?
I mean, honestly, I think it's just whoever I feel like I resonate with their energy. And Trin is like one of those people where, we could hang out for like 12 hours if we wanted to, and we would just have a good time. Or we could jam out and just like make some like crazy shit and like have a fun time doing it. So I feel like that's definitely what it is. And being like somebody that's an artist and producer, I spend a lot of my time making music independently. And so, in order for me to get out of that little bubble of myself, it would have to take like a very, very strong like symbiosis between me and another person in order for me to collaborate with them in a way that I feel is natural.
Definitely.
So maybe that's why I haven't had a lot of features on my music and collaborated with a lot of like producers and stuff like that. But I definitely have some songs with features that are on the way. So
Okay. Yeah. Any names you can throw out?
One name that y'all would probably know is Kai.
Okay.
NFU alumni.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, yeah. Did not know that, but yeah, no, Kai is amazing. You know, never met him in IRL, but we're internet homies, and he's a super talented individual. And yeah, I've been wanting to, work with him for a while, so I'm so glad that we have this.
Are there any other artists that you hope to collaborate with in the future, like especially within like the New York scene, since you attacked me recently?
That's hard to say. That is hard to say. Yeah, I'll have to think about that one.
Test out there and make sure you guys have it natural, so it's not like forced, right?
Yeah.
I guess I'm wondering, what was that decision to move out to New York from? So, you came from Oakland, you went to school in Oakland, you're out here now. When you made that decision, what was going through your mind? So, let me take this music shit to the next level.
I think it's always been one of my biggest dreams to live in Brooklyn, and to get to expand my network out here and get to perform on big stages and get to play my music and develop myself as an artist. Definitely feel like that last part is something that's happened a lot. I've definitely developed a lot as a person and as an artist, just getting to meet different people. But yeah, I mean, the decision to move out here was very sudden because I finished undergrad and moved immediately for my master's. And so it wasn't something that was super expected, but it's something that happened. So yeah.
And taking music to the next level, you're in it, you're an independent artist right now. Have you been speaking to the label with this show? Was that an idea that you're even considering, or do you want to stay independent?
It's definitely something I've thought about, but I do think for now I would want to stay independent. I like owning the masters to my music. I like, having everything under my own belt. I currently run without a manager, so
wow.
I manage all my stuff myself. So yeah, I mean, I would be down to, expand my team in any way that I can independently. But I think as for now, I'm pretty that way.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, in the song Blue Raspberry, I know you put it out a long time ago, but you referenced Frank Ocean, Sweet Life, Mango, Peaches, and Lime. So, who is Frank Ocean to you?
Oh my God. Honestly, if I could live like Frank Ocean, I would. Just getting to sit under the radar, not having to show my face, not having to be in the public eye. That would be probably one of my dreams. But Frank Ocean has been one of my biggest inspirations since my sister coming onto Channel Orange, I think, in 2010 or 2012. And I just really love his lyricism. I think that he has really incredible taste in the tracks that he chooses. Every time I listen to Blonde, I cry. It's just one of those things that you feel super nostalgic listening to. And it brings out that, childhood self, and that's something that I want to be as an artist and be super versatile in the way that he is. And I take a lot of inspiration from him.
And following up with that, do you feel like there's a specific audience that you're catering to? Do you feel like you're trying to, do what Frank is doing where it can resonate with you in that similar way? Who do you think your music is for?
I think my music's for whoever's listening, honestly. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. As somebody, again, that's constantly changing, constantly evolving, I think that my music would resonate with anybody walking down the street, or I would hope so anyway. So I don't think it's any, particular audience. It was frustrating because I had moved all my stuff to New York. I moved my whole bedroom studio out here so that I could do this. And I'm like, why did I move all this stuff? Why did I set this up and then now I'm not even using any of it? And it's right here in my bedroom, but I'm here every single night, but I can't do anything with it. And it's frustrating because as somebody that's a creator, somebody that, takes their inspiration from a higher power, or that's how I feel when I'm, inspired. I'm like, why am I here? You know, you like lose your sense of self-purpose. You're like, why, what is like putting me on this earth right now? And it's frustrating. It's difficult to be in that position. But one thing that I have to remind myself of is, you know, it's gonna happen. It's gonna hit you at some point. And it's not like your typical like job where you're there every single day and you're like, I'm here because I have to do this and this task. It's like, this is like a lifelong journey of creativity. And so it's just being patient with yourself, being patient through the process, and giving yourself grace when you don't have that inspiration getting there. That is something that I just have to learn.
And going off of that, like, if you could talk to yourself 5 years ago when you released Blue Raspberry, when that first single came out, what's some advice you would give to your younger self moving forward?
Just trust in yourself and, again, give yourself grace, be patient with yourself, and just keep going. Just keep creating. Create when you can. Create when it hits. And don't overexert yourself.
I wanted to ask, how much do you listen to your older tracks?
Rarely. Yeah, very rarely. Yeah, I still get that thing where I'm like, you know, I try to tell myself like it's just like you're developing into lyrics and everything, but it still feels cringe. Like having to hear that back sometimes, I'm like, I wish the mix sounded like this, or oh, I didn't put that in my lyrics. But every time I do revisit it, I'm like, I did this though. Because if I didn't do it then I would not be doing it now.
Right.
So I have to thank my past self for all the things that she put on the line for me. Being brave enough to put myself out there and put myself in the target, what I can do.
It's awesome. This has been a great interview. I'd like to wrap it up with a little rapid fire round. So try and answer in as few words as possible.
Okay.
First question, favorite non-music hobby?
Science.
Nice. What's a song that you wish you would written?
Monks.
Good choice. Who's the last person that left you starstruck or caught you off guard?
Bryan.
Okay.
Wow. Wait, can you talk about that?
Yeah, low key.
Or
Yeah.
actually, now that I think about it, probably Erykah Badu. Because when I saw her live, she had like a laser show.
Oh shit.
And I felt like I was transcending. It was beautiful. The sun was setting. It was an outdoor stadium. It was like the perfect night.
Awesome pick. What's your favorite song you ever made?
Blue Raspberry.
And what's your message to the world?
Keep going. Believe in yourself. Believe in the art that you're creating, and treat others how you want to be treated.
Deva, this has been a wonderful interview of great energy. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Grant, you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, that sums it up. It's been a great interview for sure.
Where can the people find your music?
Oh, you can find me on all streaming platforms, as well as YouTube, where I have some of my visuals out under Deva Rani, which is DEVA space RANI.
And tell the listeners one more time, when might they expect that project?
Let's say July.
July 2026. You heard it here first. You're listening to Notes from Underground. We're going to listen to a few more of Deva's songs before we get into a live performance, so stay tuned. Thank you again.